I wanted to do a video on that trick to come up with half diminished. So let's get to it. In short, the trick is you take any major seventh shape and you just sharp the root. So start off this first one with a G major 7. All right. I'm going to copy this down here. And then all of a sudden, that now becomes a G sharp, G sharp, half diminished. Or, you know, A flat, whichever, you know. This, I tried to pick some conventional, you know, the most common shapes I could think of. You know, so now C becomes C sharp, half diminished. You know, C sharp minor 7 flat 5. I prefer half diminished, just, you know, I just always like how the ring of it. They're both, I've been told that minor 7 flat 5 is more proper, and that you know, half diminished is upsetting to some theory teachers. I haven't really talked with them. You know, I'm sure they have a good argument, but you know, it doesn't really bother me because you know, I hear these terms interchangeably. Anyway, B flat major 7. This is more of an inversion type. So, you know, I don't know if you can see where I wrote the scale tones. I realized maybe I could make it bigger, but I'm just kind of in the mode of seeing this stuff, of writing this stuff out for you. D major 7th becomes, let's call it E flat half diminished. Or no, maybe C, yeah, D sharp. C sharp minor is more common. So I'm typically thinking when I see a half diminished chord, that is going to be the 2 chord of a minor 2-5. So anytime I see that, it's probably resolving down a whole step to that key. So like, you know, if I have a G major 7, right, that's probably going to end up resolving to F sharp minor, right? So just to kind of zoom in here, because I don't know if you can see it or not. So I took the G major 7, I sharped the root. You have to kind of flip these fingers, right? And you know, maybe I'll talk about two minor 2-5s. I don't want to get too distracted like I typically do. Take that C major 7th. If I sharp the root, I now have a C sharp half diminished. That's going to want to resolve down to B minor. All right, keep going here. F major 7. Sharp the root. That now gives us a, I don't need the annotation anymore. That's going to want to resolve to E minor. Now this shape right here, that diminished 7 shape, we're going to talk about. I'm going to make a little video on that next because there's a cool little trick there. I also have a whole section on diminished coming up, so stay tuned. So it went there. That resolves there. B flat major 7th. If I sharp the root, that gives me a B half diminished. This is a voicing you'd probably use with the bass player, like this and the last one. You know, typically you don't want to use the low notes when you have a bass player because the bass player is handling it. But you know, it's horses for courses, right? So if you're playing in a duo setting with a guitar player, then like, yeah, you want nice, good full voicings to fill it out. But you know, so this is going to want to resolve B half diminished. We'll end up resolving down a whole step to A minor. B half diminished, E7, A minor 7. here's a lesser known one. I mean, like, I'm not really good at these stretch voicings. That's pretty crunchy. That's a cool major 7th drop 2 voicing. So just a quick pop. So where it gets its name is you would have, like, you start on, that's what that arpeggio would look, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 from top to bottom. Well, that second note from the top, you drop, hence drop 2. It's hard to see on the guitar neck. It's easier to show on the fretboard or on staff paper, but that's kind of what's going on there. Classic me. I have to go off on a tangent. Oh well. I sharp that, and what do you know? You have a D sharp half diminished, which is you're gonna want to resolve down to a C sharp minor. Right? If I don't really use this shape very often, but at any rate, hope that helps. Good little trick.